I know Mr. Campbell from when he launched his campaign out of Fort Pierce, Florida. That's where I'm originally from. A friend of mine had asked me that I want to go and see a candidate that was about to run for U.S. Senate. I said, sure, why not? So I actually went to the lunch campaign. I love what I saw in Mr. Campbell and what he was saying.
Someone texted me an article about this individual that was running for United States Senate. Wasn't thinking about the race. I thought, oh, that's cool. And then a few weeks later, I received a text that said, hey, I'd love to go and visit the event that was taking place at FIU. I know that, I believe, was it the vice president or I think the VP, Kamala Harris, was gonna be there. And I said, okay, send me your name and information. And he sent me his name and I sent it over to the White House and I didn't think anything of it. Oh, by the way, I'm also the Miami-Dade Democratic Black Caucus president. So that might also be a reason why he reached out. So he sent me his name. I didn't think anything of it. Sent the name over. He received his clearance. We tried to connect during the event, but as you can imagine with, Secret Service, and we were not able to connect during that event. But maybe a few days later we talked and I realized who it was and who I was, again, it's just who sent me the message. And then we got on the phone and we had maybe an hour and a half long conversation about the state in which Florida is in, his desire and reason for why he decided to run, and it resonated with me, and I said, hey, I'd love to be a part of what you're doing.
If Mr. Campbell wins, when Mr. Campbell wins the U.S. Senate race, his contribution to the nation would definitely be his intelligence and artificial intelligence, because he is one of the only candidates that has 14 patents in artificial intelligence, and that is the way in which the United States is heading. Mm-hmm. So with him already having that jump on anybody else in Congress at this time, whether in the Senate or the House, he's going to bring that wealth of knowledge to keep this country on track and in pace with other countries, so that we maintain our lead in whatever it is that we do, especially in artificial intelligence across the world, across the globe, should I say.
First impression was, wow, he reminds me of his sibling who I had worked for 20 years prior, because I actually started my career in the entertainment industry. I worked for his brother, Luther Campbell, at Luke Records and Films, and I was his assistant, then executive director for the label. Again, it had been probably close to 20 years. Since then, I've been working in the political spaces, and now this opportunity with his brother, and I see not only the resemblance, but like the mannerism. So for me, that it was that impression that was like familiar but very different. So yes.
I think his greatest strength is the fact that he cares about the people of the community. I had a chance to go along with him on one of his campaign trips down to Miami. Oh, nice. And this was at the beginning when I first got here. So really didn't know much about him or his platform. Mm-hmm. But after having a chance to be with him that day and hearing him talk to the people in the community, I really understand how much he cares about the people of Florida and getting it back on track.
So I was explaining to the pro when I first got hired on that how I was mentored when I was a kid. The guy said, hey, you got to pay it forward when you get older. And now I'm at a golf course. Yeah, I could do it. And then my pro tells me, oh, you know what? We're so far from the base that we don't really have any kids other than a 1-week junior program. And he must have saw the look in my face. And he's like, well, we have one. And my one kid was Tiger Woods. So from the age of 13 till he turned pro, I literally had Tiger all to myself. It was a military golf course, wasn't open to the public, and I do a golf clinic for the Go For It Foundation here at Martin Downs. And I met Stanley. So that's about a year and a half ago. And I'm retired Navy DOD, he's retired naval aviator, he worked his algorithms are using the Voyager 2 at 19 years old. But he was so kind, and when we spoke, we hit it off immediately because he was all about giving back to the youth and the community. And I'm like, that's what I'm all about.
This young man told me a story, how Mr. Campbell put his entire family to work, his aunts, his uncles, and then allowed him to work part-time, learning like a mentor does. And he said he learned time management. He learned to love people. He learned to have good quality and business ethics. This was a young man talking. And he talked about how he took leadership roles at school and how now he was a part of the marching band, all because of Mr. Campbell. Well, he told me that story. He didn't tell it to Mr. Campbell. Wow. And I had to find out who this person was. And I'm telling you, there's an incredible man behind who we see on this campaign trail.
So Mr. Campbell has impacted my life by giving me the opportunity to grow and learn in his business. I did start as a server, and then I got promoted to event coordinator, and now I'm the director of operations for both this golf course and his North Green Country Club. And then he impacted my community because I have a nonprofit called Edemun. And what I do is I help Haitians and Haitian asylum seekers. When they come here, I help them get established between food stamps, cash assistance, and Medicaid for them and their children. And I help them become self-sufficient, independent homeowners with good jobs to take care of their kids and bring them to school. So he helped me with that by the first time I told him about Edemun, he told me, what can he do to help? And he did.
I am the Director of Compliance for our family's company, Equal Force Associates. We are a predictive analytics and artificial intelligence company that works in healthcare compliance. We have clients across the pharmaceutical space, from pharmacies to manufacturers. I'd say he's a very driven man. If there's something that he wants to do that interests him, that he thinks he could excel at, he finds a way to do it. He finds a way to make it happen. No matter what, on the face of it, it seems like it shouldn't be something he's able to achieve, whether that's starting his own company or becoming a golf course owner and manager in Florida. That one was a surprise. I was very surprised by that. The run for Senate is definitely something that, while it is surprising, isn't overall surprising. It's something that, given his wide breadth of knowledge and experience and temperament, is something that he would definitely exceed at once elected. He'd definitely do a great job representing the state of Florida.
I know for a fact that Mr. Campbell helps a lot of people. I talk to a lot of people. I'm dealing with people all the time, and I hear the behind the scenes of what Mr. Campbell actually does for people.
That is very nice.
He is the right man for the job. If you listen to his vision for the state of Florida and what he wants to do for the people in this state, you're going to buy in. He crosses both aisles. He wants to do what's right by Floridians. And, I'm 100% all in behind this man. He really, really cares, not just about people, but people in this state, the country as a whole. I mean, this guy, he's, such a visionary. He's definitely the guy for Florida.
When it comes to business, when it comes to politics, he's a man of just knowledge of many things, and he not only displays it, but he is also an activist for a lot of the things that he championed along the way. So he is by far the number one candidate in the state of Florida for the U.S. Senate.
I think his military background makes him narrowly focus on getting the answers for the greater good of the country. The U.S. Senate is a federal race, so even though he'd be representing Florida, he will keep in mind not just Florida, but the nation overall will be at the top of his mind in any decisions that he makes. So I think that those are his great assets.
I believe that he will fight. He will advocate to turn our state into a place that we can all be thankful and feel safe and have affordability. Like Florida, everybody's always saying, when are you going to leave? Everything is happening there. You don't have to leave if you have someone at the helm trying to turn the ship around. So I'm willing to stay in the ship because I love the captain that's rowing.
He's really about giving back and doing as much as he can for others. As you guys know, you know him, so you see that too. It's just he's an amazing man. So, I really, really hope he wins this Senate race, because this guy could be the president of the United States one day. I mean, he's that type of a great man. He's that great of a man. Vote. You gotta vote. Vote Stanley Campbell. This August 20th is, I believe, primary day, so you got to vote for Stanley Campbell. You want to see the real deal. This is the guy. And hopefully, as we get closer to that, more and more people will see him and see what he's all about and understand that this is a great man. This is a once-in-a-lifetime guy that you're going to meet. I mean, I've been in this business for, decades now, and this is a great man, and I've met great men, and this guy is the real deal. So vote Stanley Campbell in August 20th.
In Florida, we believe in hard work, resilience, and opportunity. That's the American dream. It's about time we have someone in Washington fighting for all of us, not just a select few. Affordable health care and quality education, it's what we deserve.
Stanley Campbell has earned the trust of labor organizations, community leaders, and working-class citizens from Pensacola to the Florida Keys. Stanley Campbell, the People's Choice for U.S. Senate.